Hi everybody, we're covering our new tutorial today for Microsoft Outlook, which is tutorial 4. We're going to be looking at some additional functions within Outlook, and we're going to be looking at contacts first of all. That is entering in our contacts, contact lists within Outlook. Obviously, this is quite helpful because if you've got your contacts in Outlook, it will automatically recognize contacts when being received, for example emails from those contacts, and you can actually automatically get the program to sort the emails out as per that contact into a certain folder. Another good feature obviously of having your contacts in Outlook is you've got it on your hands at any one time, their details, their email address, contact details and whatnot as well. So yeah, we're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at tasks and scheduling meetings as well. So obviously when it comes to tasks, setting up your own tasks to be done at a certain time, certain day, and scheduling it so that it reminds you that a certain task needs to be completed at a set date. And meetings, similarly, is where you're scheduling a meeting with a contact, and what Outlook will do is automatically email and notify your contact that you intend to meet up with them at a certain location, certain time, and give them the option of accepting that meeting. Once it's accepted on their end, automatically it will then come across into our calendar as a meeting, and it will therefore remind us as well prior to the meeting to expect the meeting, and likewise will do the same thing with the contact that you're planning to meet. So once you accept their meeting, it will appear on their end as well that you've accepted that. So we're going to run through that and see how it all unfolds. So we'll log into Outlook once again, and first things first, we want to create a new contact. So this is our contacts icon over here. And essentially what we want to do is we want to create a new contact. So if we just click on new contact here, and I think the first part of this exercise is to create a contact for yourself. So we'll run through that and do that. Now you don't have to put in all the information in, only the information that you have on hand or you want to include. It's automatically, you know, I'm going to use my real email address. So I'm just typing in as much information that I have on hand. So that's pretty much it. It's very basic, and then you can obviously put in additional notes if you wanted to. It's just a matter of then just saving and closing, and automatically your contact details appear. And you can put in additional information, as you can see, birth dates and whatnot, if you haven't added. So that's fine. That's another contact that was previously entered in by another person. I'm going to actually delete this contact. Get rid of that. So step 2 says use your contact card from your contact list to send an email to inquire about the position advertised. So we're going to do that now. Hi guys, I just wanted to update our exercise with that additional step as well. So once you're in your card list over here, it's just simply a matter of clicking on your email icon over here, and that email icon will automatically create a new email for yourself, and the email address that you have on your contact list will be populated. Our signature is automatically there. It's based on the signature that we created earlier, and then it's just a matter of now formulating your email. So I'm not going to worry about sending this. We've done that previously. We know what to do here. So essentially, the whole point of that exercise is just to give you the understanding of how to send an email directly to this contact through this medium here. So that's all good. Now we'll look at scheduling a meeting with other people. It's got your meetings and appointment that includes other people, responses to your meeting request with contacts appear in your inbox once confirmed. So we'll do that. We'll go to calendar. Alright, so this is our calendar here, and what we want to do is we want to request a new meeting. So we go over here, new meeting, and I'm going to once again use the same email address, and let's put in Parramatta. So essentially I'm going to be inviting myself, okay, to a meeting, which sort of doesn't make sense, but just so that you can see how this exercise works. So location, Parramatta, subject, meeting, test, exercise, and today being Friday afternoon, I'm going to schedule this meeting for this afternoon at 4 PM, and the meeting is going to go for half an hour. Okay. So that's pretty much it. Now all you have to simply do, once you've filled that information out, it's a matter of just sending it. And what you'll soon see is that automatically on our calendar, okay, so if you go to, that's our email there, and this is our calendar. So automatically in our calendar for today, we've got a meeting scheduled for 4 PM. And because it's happening within the next 15 to 20 minutes, right, it's automatically appeared as a reminder. So the way this works is it actually reminds you 15 minutes, sometimes half an hour prior to when the meeting's due to commence. So we can now dismiss that. We're aware of it. But if you go into your email now, you'll soon see an email address. Now let's just imagine here that you had invited one of your contacts in on this meeting. They'll receive this email, okay, on their end, and so they'll open up the email, and then they've got the option of accepting it or not. Okay, so they'll hit response and reply. And they can send that back. Now, if I wanted to request them to respond in a certain way, I'll show you how that part works in the next invitation. Hi guys, what we've noticed is that it's not allowing us to send ourselves an invitation, so I'm going to use another email from another computer to send a request for a meeting. But essentially this is what we're going to do on our end. Okay, we go to meetings over here. We want to create a new meeting, and let's assume here that we want to have the meeting later this afternoon, 7 PM, and I'm going to send this meeting request to our front desk, and the subject is evening meeting at Parramatta. What the key here is to ensure that you've got a tick which says request response and allow new time proposals. So for example, if Ben is proposing another time that's more convenient for him, he can actually reply back with the new time. So I'm giving him that option of being able to propose a new time in terms of the meeting. So I'm going to now send that to him, And what will happen now is that will appear on my end, and he should then receive that request, and then he will have the option of accepting it, and I'm hoping it does. And once he then accepts that on his end, it will then notify us via Outlook that the meeting is being accepted, and it will be populated on this end as well. So if you go to our emails, and if you go to sent now, you'll soon see the email that I just sent Ben, asking for an acceptance. Okay, so that's been sent, it's been confirmed. Now if I go into the inbox now, I can see here now that Ben's evening meeting request has been accepted. So Ben told me has accepted this meeting. Okay, so accepted evening meeting. So what that does now is the fact that it's accepted it, it will automatically populate on our end in our calendar, and we now know that it's been accepted, and attended response 1 accepted. Okay, so that's all good. We can send an update if we wanted to back to him, but that's essentially what it's meant to do, and that's how it's meant to work. So that's all good. So if, for example, we want to cancel this meeting, if we go over here and we cancel the meeting, we can then send a cancellation. And then what that will do is it will send Ben another email. So if you have a look at the sent items, it's sent Ben another email cancelling this evening's meeting. So he will then get that, and then he will have the option of accepting it or declining it. So that's how that works. We'll move on now. We'll look at creating a calendar appointment. So we'll go back into our calendar over here, and we want to create a new appointment over here. So let's assume here that we have to do something Monday morning. So I've selected Monday morning. Let's assume it's 10 o'clock, and let's assume it's to review reports. Review reports. And the task is going to go for half an hour. Now, this is important. Now, if I wanted to, for example, set this appointment to occur every week on a Monday at a certain time, I can select this reoccurrence and click on OK. And by me saving that, you'll soon now see that every Monday on our calendar at 10 o'clock in the morning, I've got this review reports appearing. So that's a good sort of way of setting a diary. So if you have a regular task that needs to be done on a week-to-week basis, you can set yourself such a calendar. So that's quite straightforward. And to remove that, it's just a matter of clicking on the event. I can delete only this one. Alright, so that's for next Monday. But the following Monday, because it's in a reoccurrence, as you can see here, is still there. If I click on it again and go entire series, OK, and delete that, we'll then delete all of the calendar events that are created as a recurrence. So that's the calendar. When we're looking at appointments and meetings again, in our open meeting tab options reminder. So this is a reminder. Add a reminder as a follow-up. Okay. So we're doing exercise 3 now. So we'll go into our calendar again. We go new meeting once again. I'm just going to update our exercise. Hi guys, yeah, back to reminders. So essentially what we're doing is we're creating two types of reminders here. So this is essentially setting it up so that if you've got a calendar item, or if you've got an email that needs to be actioned, you can actually set it up so that it reminds you, a pop-up appears reminding you that a certain item needs to take place. So I'll give you an example. In our calendar, we've got a meeting that's due to take place tomorrow, which we created earlier. So if I go into that particular meeting, okay, we've got our reminders over here. So if we go to meeting over here, our reminders, at the moment it's set to remind me 15 minutes prior to the actual meeting. But if I go, for example, let's just do 2 days, for example, or even that's tomorrow afternoon, so it'll be this afternoon. Yeah. So if we go 1 day even, it should actually remind us now that we have this meeting tomorrow. So if I now send this as an update, send anyway, as you can see, that reminder's popped up, letting me know that tomorrow afternoon 4 p.m, today being 4 p.m. Friday afternoon, that I've got a meeting. So that's essentially it. So I can now dismiss this, okay, or snooze it and remind me again in 5 minutes. So I'll hit snooze for now. So that's how to activate a reminder for an open calendar event. The other type of reminder is actually an email. So let's just assume you've got an important email sitting here that you need to action, so that you don't forget. Imagine here you've got heaps of emails that need to be attended to. If you click on the actual email itself, or actually before you click on the email, if you right click your mouse button and go to follow up, and then go to add reminder, you can put in over here that you want to be reminded of this afternoon at 4:30. So it's 10 past 4 right now, so we'll see what happens. Actually, I might change that. No, I'll leave it at 4:30. So at the moment, as you can see here, this is what the email looks like. So when I actually OK that, you will soon see a flag that will appear, and that's a follow-up flag that I've just created, and it's got a little bell sign which tells me that it's been set to remind me to look at this particular email. So that's how to set up your reminders within Outlook. So we'll continue with task 4 or exercise 4, and then we'll hopefully that reminder will appear when it comes closer to the time. So tasks are very similar to what we've covered earlier. So what we want to do is we've got a task bar down here. Simple matter of just clicking on that and then just hitting new task, and then just putting the details for what needs to be completed. And once again, you can put in reminders and so forth as required. So I'm just going to set up a task as an example. So I'm going to put a research website that works for you as an example. Let's assume it's going to take place this afternoon. And we'll put a reminder as well. We'll make it for 4:30 also. And it's going to obviously notify myself. So if I save and close this, it will appear here, my to-do task, and obviously it's been flagged to be completed, and there's a reminder as well to notify me that needs to be done at 5 p.m. So by clicking on it, you can actually open it up and update the status. But I'm going to leave it at this status so that you can see what happens when comes closer to the time when we get reminded. There's another one here. I'm going to delete this one. So that's how to set your tasks and your reminders for your tasks. So we covered a few elements of Outlook today. We looked at how to set up a basic calendar event, a meeting. We looked at how to accept meetings, how to decline meetings, how to change proposed times for meetings. We looked at calendar events, working your calendar, setting reminders within your calendar. We looked at tasks, putting in your tasks, and once again putting your flags and your reminders in for your tasks. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of other variances that you can muck around and play with. It's all up here. But I've just given you a bit of an overview as to some of the more commonly used functionality within the program. Thanks for listening.